They will make cemeteries their cathedrals, and the cities will be their tombs.
Demon stars Urbano Bomberini, Natasha Hovey, and is directed by Lamberto Bava. Demons is a movie that just completely surprised me. I knew nothing about this film. It was requested by Jared Casano. Hope I said your name right, Jared. Quite a while ago, actually. But this is another venture into Italian horror, a Dario Argento production, directed by Lamberto Bava, who is the son of Mayo Bava, who did Twitch of the Death Nerve or Bay of Blood, which I recently reviewed. I'll put a card right here so you can see that one. That was a phenomenal film. Great slasher. Groundbreaking, actually. And I think a lot of people don't even know about that one. But Demons is another one, completely different genre. I would put, it's almost like a zombie film, but zombies that are a little bit more intelligent and just completely insane. The practical effects in this movie are just amazing. But first off, if you check out this picture right here, this is one of my patrons, Grant Steele. I sent him this t-shirt, and it is a Myers Face t-shirt, Killer Flicks. And if you want this t-shirt or many other designs, you can go to the Drumdums store and you can get you a t-shirt. I think there's like probably 8 or 9 designs over there now. But yeah. But first off, let's get into the plot. This is a really simple plot. At the beginning of this movie, you have this girl on the subway, and then she gets off the subway and she receives this invitation, almost like Willy Wonka style. She gets this like golden ticket. It's an invitation to go to this movie theater. And the movie theater is called the Metropole. This location is really striking. That's one thing I like about this. Anytime you have locales in movies that jump right out at you, then you're already ahead of the game. And this one definitely jumps right out at you. I believe this movie was actually filmed in Germany, but the Metropole is just a really interesting location, and it happens to be a movie theater. Right away, I started getting vibes of like the original Dawn of the Dead and how that one was filmed in a mall. And this one, it's a similar type premise. The whole thing, or most of the movie, takes place inside this movie theater, which is eerie this day and age because we have had a few movie theater, massacres, shootings over the last 10 years. So it is kind of creepy watching this movie, knowing what we know now. But this is kind of a packed theater. Everybody's watching this movie. It is a movie about demons. It's like art imitating life. And in the movie, they find this mask, and one of the guys gets a scratch on his face, and then that kind of starts the whole thing. He becomes a demon.
How do I look?
Whoever wears it becomes a demon.
How do you know?
It says here, whoever wears it becomes a demon.
Well, that's what happens in real life. One of the patrons that goes into this theater, she sees this mask just hanging on this statue, and of course she's curious. She puts it on, it scratches her face, and she's the one that becomes the first demon. I like to call her the Rick James character because she looks a lot like Rick James.
Smoking is not allowed in here. Excuse us.
She got the Rick James hair. This is 1985. This is when Rick James was like at the top of his game. So I think there must have been some influence there. There's a lot of American influence in this movie, actually. You're gonna see like movie posters galore, The Terminator, you're gonna see Nosferatu, all this great stuff. Even though Nosferatu, I don't think is an American movie. But just a love of horror cinema, because I think the first Terminator is kind of a slasher movie. But also, the soundtrack to this movie is all like 80s hair metal bands, or for the most part, you got like Motley Crue, Saxon, the Scorpions, yeah. And one of the first songs that jumped out at me was a song by Motley Crue called Save Our Souls, which is one of my favorites by them, and it's one that you like never hear.
The sleep of reason gives birth to monsters.
So I love when movies utilize lesser known songs by popular bands. I'm glad they didn't use Home Sweet Home because I'm kind of sick of that song. I digress. Back to the plot. They're all sitting in this theater watching this movie, and then all of a sudden the Rick James character just starts freaking out. She goes to the bathroom, she has like the zit from hell, and it explodes. And then this is when you get your first taste into what this movie has to offer in terms of practical effects, because they are freaking insane. Like, this is the Thing level good practical effects. And it kind of harkened back to how terrifying the Thing was, because there's a lot of movies with great practical effects, but they're not scary. This is one that is scary. Like, I can imagine if I saw this movie when I was probably a teenager, it probably would have scared the crap out of me. Some of the demon effects in this movie are just completely insane. You got the creepy yellow eyes, but then you got all these, like, there's a lot of like juices and liquids in the practical effects in this movie, and that just makes it a lot creepier. And there's a lot of great examples of amazing practical effects in this movie. It's like a feast, it really is. And there's this one scene where you see this character, her tongue protrudes out of her mouth like a foot, and you just can't help but appreciate the work that went into this movie, the detail that went into this movie, but also stylistically. With any movie that has the name Dario Argento attached to it, there's going to be a lot of style to it, and this one definitely has that, especially in the movie theater. Most of the time it's dark, and so they take advantage of that with, you know, different colored lighting, all these great effects along the way, and it just really adds to your experience. And then it's accented by the music. This has kind of like a new wave type musical backdrop to it along the way, aside from all the hair metal that's going on. But it just has an energy to it. That's what I love about it. And I will say, this movie gave me strong like Return of the Living Dead vibes as far as like fun. It's that type of fun. And then also you're gonna get like Evil Dead vibes as far as like how far they go with the makeup, how creepy they go with the makeup. And then like the second half of this movie, or I guess the last act of this movie, it turns into kind of a Terminator type movie, because you got our main two characters, and they are on the run, fighting, trying to get away from all these demons. And it really reminded me of Kyle Reese and Sarah Connor. It really did. Now, as far as any cons, this movie does have some like really bad acting. I did watch like the US version, so correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. I didn't really check out the international version, and I don't know how much different that is in terms of like vocal acting. But yeah, a lot of the acting is bad, it's over the top, but you know what? It's par for the course in this type of movie. It fits right in, and none of it bothered me whatsoever. I still had a blast with it. In a way, it kind of added to the fun of the movie. This movie is a ride. That's what it really is. I can't recommend it enough. Thank you, Jerry Casano, for recommending this to me. Got a lot of good conversation going about this movie in Killer Flicks. And yeah, I can't recommend this movie enough, guys. A lot of fun. So I'm definitely going to give this a purchase worthy, a strong purchase worthy, and I can't wait to check out more Dario Argento material. If you see, I got Deep Red behind me back there. Looking forward to watching that one. Also, guys, before I go, this week has been like truly just insane for me, like really sad. If you watch like a lot of my previous content, a couple videos, a couple reviews, and a Scream stream, all dedicated to my good friend Derek Mayo. Unfortunately, Derek passed away this last Wednesday, and it was just super brutal. But it, you know, it made me remember all the great memories that I had with him, and the Killer Flicks family, and Club Voorhees, and Deborah Voorhees sheer horror group all came together for Derek while he was in his last days, and just made them as comfortable as could be. And we still had a lot of great horror talk along the way. I had a lot of great conversations with Derek on Facebook, and I can't thank him enough for his friendship that he gave me. He was truly a gift, and if anything, at least he's not suffering anymore, because I know that last week he was going through a really tough time with the pain. He was in hospice care, all that stuff. So Derek, he's shining down upon us right now. He's with George Romero, he's with Wes Craven, and Toby Hooper, and all those other horror greats, and they're all up there just having a grand old time. So, Derek, love you, brother. And I'm definitely planning on something special for him within the next couple weeks. just to celebrate him. Probably a commentary of some sort, thinking about maybe a Friday Part 5 commentary, because that was one of his favorite Friday movies. So that's coming down the line. And just thank you to the community. Thank you for everybody for coming together for Derek. Can't thank you enough. So anyway, guys, be sure to come over to Killer Flicks, and where we talk horror all day and every day, and on Fridays we do Free For All Fridays. If you like what I'm doing, hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and Drumdum out.